Hey everybody, welcome back to another riveting episode of Flatbroke Outdoors. It's time to go camping. The weather's pretty decent, so we're going to hit it. It rained all day yesterday, but today is just kind of cloudy and not really cool, but it ain't so hot either. So we're going to go see what we can get into. I'll catch back up with y'all when I find us a spot. All right, everybody. I have been riding around up here in the National Forest for about 3 hours looking for just that one right spot. I found a spot that I thought would really be a good one, and I stopped the truck and I got out, and I wasn't standing out there a minute, and there were so many deer flies just covering me. I don't know if y'all know exactly what deer flies are. They kind of look like a horse fly, but a little smaller, and they'll bite the daylights out of it. But anyway, we got here, and I got my truck all leveled up on those blocks. It don't really look level, but it is. And we got a piece of a fire pit. I don't know that we'll use that fire pit. It looks a little raggedy, and I don't feel like shoveling it out and rebuilding it and all of that stuff. So anyway, I've got some setting up to do, and then we'll have us a little downtime after that, and I'll let y'all know where I've been for the last 3 or 4 weeks. Anyway, I'll get back with y'all in just a little bit. Hey everybody, welcome back. Got things mostly set up. Took me a little while. I believe I pulled a growing muscle, but it's what happens when you get old. Just doing something simple like this is a task. But anyway, I got some coffee water going on, and this weekend it is. I think it's Friday. Don't quote me on it. It might be Saturday. Yeah, I think it's Saturday. Anyway, I'm gonna do all of my coffee in this My Joe coffee maker by Presto. I've had it on the channel before. I believe it was about a year ago when they first sent it to me. The thing is really pretty cool. And for those of you who are new to the channel or didn't see that, the way this thing works, this part on the top it's a pump. So you take that off, you unscrew this bottom, take your little K cup, stick it right in the bottom, screw this back on, set this part on top of your coffee cup, put the pump on there, and just put gradual pressure on it. You know, if you want your coffee stronger, push it a little slower. That way you get more water going slowly through there, making your coffee stronger. But anyway, I don't think I don't think it gets enough air time. You know, I've had it for quite a long time, and sometimes when I just want like one cup of coffee instead of making a whole pot, it's just easier to use this. So I got some water going on here, and when it gets hot, I'll show you how the whole shooting match works. But I told you I would let you know what I'd been up to. So my last video was where I was camped out with Butch from Before It's Too Late at William Falk 5314, I believe. Anyway, I was in Iowa camping with him. What I had done is gone to Wisconsin and dropped my wife off with her parents. And then I went and spent a week camping in a lot of different places with Butch. We had a great time. I came back to Arkansas for a few days, got my motor home, went back, picked my wife up, and we went up to Door County, Wisconsin. I don't know if any of y'all have ever been there or not, but it is a beautiful place. If you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, look at a map. You go to middle of Wisconsin to the top. There's a peninsula sticks out into the Great Lake. So you got water on three sides. Tons of camping up there. They're I guess they're known for their breweries and wineries. They grow. There's many hundreds of acres, probably thousands of acres of fruit trees, cherries and apples, and just it's just a beautiful place. And then they have a couple of state parks and county parks, a lot of hiking trails that hike right along the coastline. It's just a beautiful place. Everything is, I mean, there's quite a few people there. Mostly, I would guess, were visiting like I was, but, or like me and my wife were. But there's only 2-lane roads all over the entire peninsula. And I don't really know how many miles it is end to end or from side to side, but I mean, you can get around it in pretty short order. But it's just a beautiful place. That kind of place is, I mean, you can go there, just reset your batteries, enjoy. I mean, there's tons of good restaurants, breweries, coffee shops, bakeries. I mean, there's all kinds of places you can stop and buy apples and apple butter and cherry jam, apple jam, pepper jellies, cherry pepper jellies, salsas, you name it. So anyway, we were there. We have a friend that works at a campground up there, and he invited us up to hang out for a while. Of course, we didn't get to see a whole lot of him because he was working, but he did have a day off and kind of gave us a quick tour, like the nickel tour of the place. Showed us all the amazing things that we should see, and then he left it up to us to find everything else on our own, and we did. You know, we got maps and trail guides and just all kinds of stuff, and we were there for 10 days, I think, 10 or 11 days, but it was just awesome. And then when we left there, we went back to my in-laws, spent 2 or 3 days with them. You know, I don't think I was really sick when we were at the in-laws house, but I just didn't feel like traveling. We were just going to spend the one day and then come on back home, but we ended up staying, I think, 3. But anyway, we had a great time, took our time getting back. We just got back day before yesterday, and I was glad that we didn't lollygag another day, because the day that we got, the day after we got back, it stormed from, I'm guessing, from Wisconsin all the way to to Florida. That hurricane brought them a bunch of devastation, but brought us an all day and all night nuisance rain is basically what we had. I was going to go camping yesterday, but I don't mind camping in the rain. I just hate setting up in the rain. It's just a pain. I didn't have anything loaded. I had things strung out between my truck, the motorhome, that camouflage off-road camper I have, and just I just don't have enough stuff to go around all 3 of them. So I end up, depending on what we're using, I end up taking stuff out of my truck and putting in one of those. So I had to collect all that back together, and hopefully I have enough to get through this trip. I'm gonna stay here a couple of days just because it's nice and cool now. I mean, some of y'all might not think it's cool, but for Arkansas, this is cool. It's somewhere, I think, somewhere in the high 70s right now, but it has been for a good part of the summer, in the 90s and hundreds and all of that. But anyway, I think my coffee water's almost done, so I'm gonna come bring y'all a little closer and kind of show you how this thing works. Okay, so y'all watched me put the K-cup inside this particular portion. I'm gonna set that on the coffee cup. Pull this thing is real soft rubber. It's really easy to get on and off. This is what allows allows air back into it and lets it come back up so it doesn't stay collapsed. It's pretty neat design for sure. But anyway, let me grab this bad boy. We'll get a little water put in here. Now it does have a plug in the bottom of this, some type of rubber flapper that keeps this water from just draining through on its own. All right, so we got our water in there. Now, let me get this baseball mitt off. Now I would suggest not trying to do this one-handed, as not to hurt yourself while you're camping or even at home. I mean, this would be fine at home too. All right, so I'm just going to put some real easy pressure on it because I like my coffee a little stronger. And as big as this cup is, I probably could have put 2 pods through it, but I think we'll be all right. And you can do this as fast or slow as you want to. There's no rule. You know, I did not make up the rules to this game. And there's marks on the side of this top container. I mean, they're pointed towards me, so y'all can't see them. But anyway, it tells you how much you got in there, 8 ounces, 10 ounces, like that. So if you have, you know, certain size cups or whatever, you won't have a boo-boo and overdo it, burn yourself. Now, I don't know what them gunshots are all about. It is deer season here, but it's just bow season. So muzzleloader don't come till October sometime. So I'm not sure who's doing all the shooting, but well, on the way here, I meant to stop and let y'all hear it, but there's something wrong in the front end of my truck. I thought I got a rock in the brake, but I backed up and took off again, and it wasn't making noise too bad. And then it started again, so I did it again, and it stopped for just a minute. And so I thought, well, maybe it's a hub going bad, you know, a lockout, because I've had that happen before, and it kind of made the same noise. So I put it in 4-wheel drive, and the noise stopped. So I drove it in 4-wheel drive a little bit. You know, I was on these old mountain roads and stuff, all gravel and dirt. But anyway, just as I was coming up here, I took it out of 4-wheel drive, and that kind of I don't know, it's a cross between a ticking. It's not quite a grind. If you've ever had a rock in your brake caliper, you know the sound I'm talking about. Or if you've ever had a lockout hub go bad, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, so that'll be something I got to look into when I get home. But right now, it's not bothering me a bit. But anyway, so that made just about this much in this cup. Let me see if I got it strong enough. Oh, Lord, it's hot. Whew. Man, burn my tongue. Tastes good, though. So I believe that's going to do it. It is, I can't even tell you what time it is because, and I might have told you all this on another video. Somewhere I was camping, the mosquitoes were pretty bad. So I put off all over me and ended up spraying my watch. Well, that old cheap watch, it obviously didn't have a crystal in it. You know, like in the old days, they always called that the crystal, the glass part. But it's just plastic on that cheap watch I had, and that the chemicals in that bug spray kind of etched the face of it off where you couldn't see inside it anymore. So it's useless to me. So again, I don't know what time it is, but I'm going to assume it's somewhere around 4 o'clock. And I had breakfast about 6:30. So I need to scrape up something to eat. There's no threat of me starving to death today, but I was going to cook something over the fire, but I don't know if this mic is picking up this wind. It is super windy. So I do have some charcoal. I might light some charcoal, or I might just, I have some pork chops. I have some hot dogs. I've got hamburgers, hamburger meat. I plan on doing quite a bit of cooking while we're out here this weekend. I'm going to make some cornbread. I can't tell you what all I have because I can't remember, but you'll see it The one thing I don't have is eggs. I did not bring any eggs, so there will be no eggs harmed in the making of this video. But man, this breeze, although it's stout, it makes it so nice out here. Y'all see I didn't quite get set up right where this tree is in my way, but it's no big deal. I could put another pole right there and and I might do that just to put a little tension on to keep it from flapping in the breeze. I have more of these green elephant poles. I've had these, I guess roughly a year. I got so many things that I started my channel a year ago in August. So my channel just had a birthday. And I have quite a lot of subscribers, I guess, for being 1 year into it. Last time I looked, I had 5,280 subscribers. But they don't, a lot of y'all don't interact with my channel in the comments, so that's why I never do lives, just because I'm not getting a lot of interaction through the, in the comment section. So we'll just keep muddling along. But anyway, so the channel had a birthday, and a lot of this stuff was sent to me early in my channel. Like, I have my power stations, and so I'll do some 1 year follow-ups on those. My refrigerator, my Alpacool refrigerator, it's a refrigerator freezer, and that thing's still going strong. I never turn it off. It's only ever turned off between my truck and the house or the motorhome or wherever. So it's been running for daggone year straight, I guess, or roughly a year straight, and it's been seamless. It has never failed me at all. I've got this tarp. This thing has been used and abused for a year straight, and it is still tough as nails. If it burned up in a fire tomorrow, I would just buy another one. So many things. The rooftop tent, I haven't had it quite a year yet. I think October will be a year, and it's been nothing but great for me. I do, if you have mobility issues like knees or feet or anything of that nature, they will wear on you. So I'd be, climbing that ladder super slow, and I try to make as few trips as possible up and down that ladder. And let's see what else. So the rooftop tent, that'll be coming up. The refrigerator, all this, this stuff is just mine, and it's great. I'm a huge fan of Coleman products across the board. I don't know that I'm such a huge fan of their tents and that kind of stuff, but as far as their stoves and lanterns and this oven, I think every bit of it's worth the money and then some. I've got Coleman stoves that are over 30 years old, and they still work like, they don't look quite as good as they did when they were new, but they still work just as well. But some of the stuff I don't have with me. But anyway, we'll be going through all of that, and I'm not gonna make separate videos for each thing, because I don't particularly care for that, and I know y'all don't either. When I do just straight review videos, that's some of my lowest views is on when I do unboxings and reviews and that kind of stuff. Apparently my audience don't care about that stuff, and that's fine. So sounds like we had somebody coming down the road. This campground where it's at, it's a dead end road, and it's way back off the main gravel. That it's kind of a main ridge road that runs through here. But so when you're coming back here, you either know where you're going or you're just lost or just looking around. But so I heard that vehicle, but I don't see it. Oh well, they'll be along directly, I'm assuming. But anyway, I'm gonna get off here and quit boring y'all, and I'll bring you back when it's time to make some food. All right, y'all, the fire is just about right. See if I can do this without dropping anything in the dirt. All right, y'all, I've been off the pork for a while now, but I saw these in the grocery store and thought, man, sure look good and lean. I think I'll give them a shot. So anyway, I am going to have these pork chops. I got some potato salad in there. So I guess it'll be pork chops and potato salad. But anyway, it's probably going to take these a little while to cook. And the wind is sort of dying down, so I might even start a fire while y'all are gone. But anyhow, I'm going to get this done, throw this away, and I'll talk to y'all in a little bit. All right, y'all, I'm feeling a little old school this evening, so I brought y'all back. Y'all can laugh at how many times it takes me to strike this striker and get this fire going. Let's see. In my defense, everything is wet because it rained all day and all night yesterday. Now I should have been smart enough to deploy some dryer lint. Y'all wait right there and I'll see if I have any in my firebox. I've got this little box here. I keep quite a lot of fire making stuff in here, and of course Butch says I got silicone in every box and crevice I have, and guess what? There's a tube of silicone in here too. Let's see. Oddly enough, I have no dryer lint. I do have some cotton cloth here. I don't know how good a favor that's going to do us, but you know, if all else fails, I do have a Bic lighter in my pocket, or over there by that stove somewhere. I got one somewhere. Anyway, here we go, y'all. Fire in the hole, kids. Fire in the hole. Now it looks like that cotton cloth caught up finally, but who's to say it's going to stay caught up? Anyway, that's enough of my crazy shenanigans. Get over here and see what this meat's doing. Hey, sticking on me, kids. Ooh, look at him. Look at him. Sure looks good, boys and girls. All right, so we got a fire going. Got our meat cooking right along. I'll be back with y'all in a little bit. Hey y'all, welcome back. It is getting dark at a high rate of speed. It's I don't even know what time. I don't even know why I try to tell you what time it is, because I don't know, but this camera just gathers so much light. It's way darker than it looks on this. But anyway, I got my fire rolling. The wind has calmed down quite a bit, so I feel safe enough with the fire. Got the old lanterns burning. Supper turned out good, and pork chops was barbecued up and tasted good. The deviled egg potato salad from the local Walmart store was pretty good. So I ate, got all my dishes done, stoked the fire up pretty good. So I'm just gonna sit around this fire and you know, who knows? Might watch a YouTube video, might just stare at this fire. I don't know. But anyway, I'll get back with y'all in a little bit. Hey, good morning, everybody. It is about 5:30 in the morning, I guess, on day 2. And I got up, couldn't sleep past about 4:30. Anyway, I got up and built a fire, put a little more gas in the red lantern, or kerosene, not gas. I don't want to mislead anybody. But got me some coffee made, got the old fire cooking. You know, now that the daylight, you know, the time that it gets daylight and the time it gets dark is changing really fast this time of year. So, you know, it used to be, it would be daylight by now, or right at it. But you know, I don't really know how long it's gonna be before it gets light enough. But you know, I don't really like to cook by lights just because it draws bugs, and bugs get in your food and all that junk. So we will refrain from cooking anything until we get a little more daylight. But the night went pretty good. I slept well. It was a little warm up there. I didn't plug my fan in. I have a little USB fan I keep up there, and I didn't plug that in last night. I should have. I had all the windows wide open, and every now and then a little breeze would come across there, and it felt pretty good. But it could have been a lot worse, you know. It could still be in the 80s at night, and I don't think it was anywhere in the 80s last night. It might have been in the 70s, but anyway, it could have been, like I said, it could have been a lot worse, so not a big deal. We're just kind of sit around the fire this morning, drink this coffee, and wait on some daylight, and we'll get some groceries cooking. All right, everybody, welcome back. I'm working on my second cup of coffee here. It finally got daylight enough I could chop up some potatoes and onions without chopping my hand off. I don't know if y'all can get a good look at them or not, but I've had my skillet heating up for a minute or two, so I'm going to go and put these in and, oh, Lord. Got some onions trying to get me to slip. That will never do. Throw them right in the fire. All right. So I'm going to cook up these potatoes and onions, and then when they get mostly done, I'm going to set them aside. And then I have some hot sausage, you know, just regular breakfast sausage. It might be Jimmy Dean or Old South or one of them. I don't remember which one I got, but anyway, I'm gonna put that in there, and I guess we'll have sort of just a mixture of things. I didn't bring any eggs, so there won't be any eggs in the mix, but I do have some cheese, so it'll be sausage, potatoes, onions, cheese, with all the gooder spices you can stand. My mother-in-law gave me 3 cast iron skillets when we were up there visiting. I guess it's not something she was using anymore, and this happens to be one of them. And it's kind of a neat looking cast iron skillet. I never had one quite shaped like that, but it's about the perfect size. I've got 2 that I bring camping, and one's a little too big and one's a little too small. And this one is just right. Now I have cast iron skillets at home that I use, and I have one that's perfect size and one that's just a little big. But you know, if I happen to be cooking something for other folks, it works out pretty good. But just you find, I know if you're cast iron people, you find that one skillet that is one you don't want to be without. It just happens to be the perfect size. And I think this one might be that for me. We shall see. I think my Mrs. Dash Southwest Chipotle took on a little humidity. What in the world? Can't get it broke up, kids. I think I know how to cure this. Yeah, here we go. That's one thing when you're doing a lot of camping in a state as humid as Arkansas, your spices get hard in the bottles. Some of them do. Yeah, now we're cooking. That was the key right there, boys and girls. Coming along nicely. Anyway, I'm gonna let this cook, and I'll get back with y'all in a little bit. All right, y'all, we're gonna switch gears just a little bit. When I went into the refrigerator to get my sausage out, I spotted this chicken that I had cooked night before last to go with some tortilla soup my wife had made, and I don't want it to spoil, so I'm going to add that to these potatoes and onions, and we're going to have chicken, potatoes, and onions for breakfast instead of that sausage. We'll do that sausage tomorrow morning before we pack up and go home. So the potatoes wasn't far from done, so we'll get this chicken heated up. And it should turn out to be pretty good. All right, y'all, this might be a complete disaster, but we're going to see how she goes. I'm going to let that heat up. Let me put a little more fire under it here. So we got our chicken, potatoes, and onions. Got this. We got a little Valentina hot sauce to go in there. It's already pretty spicy with some chipotle powder, some jalapeno powder, so it should be good, but time will tell. I do have some Mexican 4 cheese blend here. I don't know if y'all see that or not, but anyway, I have that. So I'm gonna heat that tortilla up on this side, flip it over, put my cheese in, add some goodies when the cheese melts, and then I'm gonna try to fold it in some fashion where it ain't gonna leak out on me when I'm trying to eat it. It's pretty cool out this morning. Not bad, really. I don't really know what the high temperature is today. I would assume somewhere in the high 70s. So it should make for a pretty good day. It was super cloudy this morning. I thought it was going to rain, but it did not. So I'm kind of happy about that. All right, let me get some cheese on there without making a horrendous mess. Cheese in there. I'm going to use a little more. Got some cheese going on. Let that cheese get a little melty. Get some of this in there. Yeah, I'm making a fine mess here. Looks like. Get in there. Straighten up now. Excuse me. Allergies kicking out here this morning. All right. Now this hot sauce is more flavorful than it is hot. It's not screaming hot. And I did even get the hot version, but it's got such good flavor. It's probably the best hot sauce I've ever tasted. As far as hot sauces go, it's pretty good. All right. All right, kids. Well, I'm going to finish cooking this, and I'm going to eat a little something. I'll get back with y'all in a little bit. Hey, y'all, that breakfast was outstanding. It tasted really good. Not too spicy, just spicy enough. I got the dishes done. I got the skillets cleaned up. Everything else is washed, but the rest of this stuff got me looking like I'm in a homeless camp, so I need to take some time and clean all this stuff up. I do want to give a shout out to my mother-in-law, Eileen, for the cast iron skillet. That thing worked out great. Didn't stick. Already had good seasoning on it. The only thing I did when I got it was just wash it real lightly, and nothing stuck. Everything was great. Now I'm going to take a little time and clean some of this stuff up, and I'll get back with y'all in a little bit. Y'all won't believe what has happened to me here. I believe my battery has give up the ghost. So when we came back from our trip, my truck had been parked for, I don't know, 3 weeks or so. And I think my battery has gone bad because my truck wouldn't start. So I jumped it off, and it was starting fine after that. And so I felt comfortable just going on about my business. And then I had my refrigerator plugged into the truck. Now, in the past, I have left that refrigerator plugged in for a week, and it's never done, it's never caused my battery to go dead. But I should have thought, last night, since the battery was weak, I should have plugged it into a power station, and I did not. But when I woke up this morning at 4 or 4:30, whatever time I got down from that rooftop tent, I started the truck, and it started just fine. But here just a minute ago, I went to start it, and it would not start. It wouldn't say nothing. So I'm guessing I let the battery run down because of that refrigerator. I think that battery might have a dead cell or something. I don't know. But at any rate, I had to call my wife. She's going to come out here and jump start my truck, and I'll just let it run for a while. And it should be fine. I won't plug that refrigerator back into it anymore, I promise you. I bought that battery at Walmart. It's probably been a couple of years ago, so it might still be in warranty. It's a big battery. It's got 1,000 cold cranking amps. I guess the biggest one that'll fit in that battery tray. But anyway, I ain't gonna think too much about it. I know one of my back doors, if you ain't careful that you got it shut good, it'll make the dome light stay on. And I'm sure it's probably a contact in there or something, just dirty or corroded or something. But I might have done that before I left on my trip. And it just killed the battery all the way. So I don't know. I'll worry with it when I get home. When she comes and I jump it off, I'll just let it run for a good long time. I got plenty of gas. Make sure it gets a good charge in it. It's just frustrating. I'm glad I didn't camp in some of the spots I had found yesterday because there's no way she'd ever find me down there. But everything happens for a reason. Where I'm at, I mean, I'm quite a bit off the main road, but it's easy to get to, and it's just more frustrating than anything when when something happens to your vehicle. You feel kind of, I don't know, I don't know what you'd call it. You just feel like you're stranded, and stranded sucks. So, but I'm sure she'll be here in an hour or so, and we'll get it all taken care of. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that with y'all. So that's kind of how my day is going right now. All right, everybody. So my wife did come and boost my truck off for me. Of course, I would have filmed it, but I think we all by now know how she feels about being on camera, so I didn't do that. But anyway, it didn't take much, just barely touched the cables to it and fired right up. So it wasn't real dead, but anyway, I've got it running now, charging my power station and the battery itself. So, and I'm not going to make the mistake of plugging that daggone refrigerator back in overnight again. So there's that. But I will pull that battery off tomorrow and have it tested because, I can't be going where I go and have a faulty battery because you're not making any phone calls most places I go, and then be a long walk out to civilization. So I think I am going to invest in a booster pack. I think that's something that I need really, really bad, just to be on the safe side. If I had my generator with me, I could have, used my generator to jumpstart the truck, but I don't have it with me. There's only so much I can haul in the back of that truck, and if I don't have my trailer with me, I don't have room for the generator most times. But anyway, in the meantime, after she went on back to do whatever she was doing, I got a couple of hamburgers here that I patted out and got all seasoned up and put on some. I had some another bag of charcoal in my truck, so I just put some charcoal in the old fire maple Maverick and got these hamburgers cooking. So that's kind of where we're at. Super cloudy, kind of a, I don't know, kind of a gloomy day, but no day is gloomy when you're camping. Even when you have a dead battery and a messed up whatever's going on in that front wheel. But tomorrow is another day. I'll deal with all that stuff tomorrow. But for now, I want to get these hamburgers cooked. I still have some potato salad left over from last night, so I may have some chips and potato salad and hamburgers for lunch. Anyway, I'll get back with y'all in a little bit. Y'all, I've been sitting around here watching a movie about and let the day slip away from me. I forgot to cook supper. Anyway, what we're going to have for supper is, I've never had this before, but it is Spam Korean barbecue flavor. I don't know what that means, but I've had other things that was Korean barbecue and I kind of liked it, so this might work out. So we got the Spam. I have some Martha White Cotton Country cornbread. You just add water. I've had this before and it was actually really good. So I'm going to do that again. So we need to get into this bag here. Y'all bear with me. We'll get our cornbread mix in there. Then we need 3/4 cup of water. All right. Put that in there. Let me find something to fight with here, and I'll stir that up right quick. I don't know how good it's going to be, but can't be all bad, can it? So I got some rice I'm going to cook with that Spam also. It's a Uncle Ben's long grain and wild rice. So that's going to be supper tonight. I don't think that was enough water. I ain't sure Martha White knew what she was talking about. Yeah, now that looks like it's gonna do. I got my oven over there heating up. I don't know how well it's doing, but I might turn that up just a skosh. Got me a little coffee water going over there. Here is another one of those skillets that Eileen gave me. That should fit fine inside that oven. So we're gonna have us some iron skillet cornbread. Let me slick it up with some of that. You know, when I was camped out with Butch up in Iowa a few weeks back, we were watching a video of somebody, and I can't remember who it was, but everything they used that was cast iron, they called it black iron. So in my brain, I just been calling it black iron too. I don't know. This sounds better than cast iron. Anyway, so we got that squared away. We got Martha White ready to roll here. All right. Got the oven squared away. I'm gonna slide this in the oven. It's not really gonna take too long to cook that Spam and rice. Probably take longer to do this cornbread. So as long as the weight of that skillet doesn't make my rack drop down, we'll be in good shape. I don't remember how long it's been. It's been a while back. I mean, a bunch of videos ago, I was cooking breakfast and I had a pan of biscuits, and I turned around, I slid them biscuits in there and closed that door. And quick as I turned around, that whole rack just dropped. all dropped in the bottom. But see, that's the magic of video editing right there, because y'all didn't get to see that. But it was funny. You have to trust me. As soon as my coffee water gets done over here, I'm gonna get this Spam cut up, get it in the skillet, get it all browned up, and add my rice. We'll have us some Korean barbecue Spam and Uncle Ben's long grain and wild rice. I'll get back with y'all in a minute. All right, y'all. It done got nighttime on us when I wasn't looking. It's dark out here. All right. My doggone fork. All right, the cornbread turned out good. I used one of them skillets that my mother-in-law gave me. Slicked it up, slid it in there. Well, cornbread came out nice. It's been sitting here cooling for just a minute. My Korean barbecue Spam is over here ready to roll. So let me dish some of this out. All right. So we got that. I am going to turn this skillet over on top of that to keep the bugs out of it. And set me some of this cornbread over here. All right. Well, that will work, kids. It's time to eat. So I'm going to get off here, and then I'll bring y'all back in a minute. I got a fire going over there, so after I eat, we'll probably just sit around the fire and hang out and think about old times. Hey everybody, welcome back. I don't know if y'all can see me or not. It's done got dark 30 on us here, so I'm standing by this fire maybe to give enough light for y'all to see me. Man, that Korean barbecue spam was spot on. A little bit spicy. I didn't add anything but just a little bit of pepper and a little bit of garlic to that and the rice. I mixed it with that long grain wild rice. It was good, and that cornbread was surprisingly good for something out of a package. You know, they're cheap. You add 3/4 cup of water, beat it up a little bit and throw it in a pan. That's a cheap way to go when you're camping. You know, in a lot of my earlier videos, I used to make everything from scratch. I made biscuits from scratch. I made cornbread from scratch, all of that stuff, pancakes from scratch. But, you know, it takes time. It takes a lot of time, adds a lot to the videos, and it just making it easier. You know, when you can find something in the package that's super quick to make like that. You know, it didn't take, I don't know, probably 15 minutes altogether to mix it up and cook it. And, you know, that little Coleman oven, that thing's worth its weight in gold. And now that I have the proper size cast iron skillet that'll fit in there, man, all my cornbread will be done in there. You know, I used to make cornbread in my Dutch oven, but you know, that's such a pain in the keister, man. And you got to have my Dutch oven is big. My smaller one, I keep at home with grease in it for cooking fish. I don't bring it camping. The one I bring camping is pretty big, you know. And me camping by myself all the time, it's just, it's too big to make cornbread and that kind of stuff in. And it's just easier. That Coleman oven just simplifies everything. So anyway, I just wanted to bring y'all up to speed on that. I'm gonna sit around this fire for a while and drink my coffee, and I will probably call it a night after that. So I will probably see y'all in the morning for breakfast. Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody slept well. I slept all right. It finally got cool enough last night to get a decent night's sleep. I did use my fan last night, so that helped a bunch. But then when I woke up this morning, when I first came down about 4 o'clock, I had shorts on. It was pretty chilly, so I built the fire up right away and sat there, was drinking coffee and just enjoying the fire. And I got up, made my second cup of coffee, and I went back and I sat down. That chair I have has a side table that pops up, and there's 2 little things on there that you push in that lock the table in. And I had done that, but I had my cup of coffee and a bottle of water. The bottle of water was sitting there. I set my coffee down and just turned a little bit, and the whole thing dumped out on the ground. So that was a little disheartening, but it was no big deal. You know, I was planning on cooking some sausage and stuff this morning, but I have so much of that Korean spam barbecue and rice concoction I made last night that I'm just going to heat up some tortillas, in the skillet and put some of that in there, and that's what I'm going to have for breakfast. And then I'm going to pack all of this stuff up and go home and fix my truck. That's high priority for me today. You know, I have had this truck for a long time, and I beat the daylights out of it. And this will be the first time I've ever had to work on it. You know, mechanically, like I said, I don't know what's wrong in that front end. It could be something simple as a rock in the brakes, but I do believe it's probably going to be a hub issue. And I don't know if I'll put automatic hubs back in it or manual locking hubs. It's got automatic hubs in it now. And, you know, the truck's a 2011, so it's old. And I'm assuming that they've never been replaced before. I'm a fan of the Warren lockout hubs, but my rims, I don't think will, I don't think the center opening in them won't, work with the manual locking hubs because they tend to stick out a lot farther than the automatic hubs do. So I don't know. We'll see what I get into, but I got to address that. And then the battery issue, you know, since my wife came yesterday and gave me a boost, I've been starting it every so often, you know, just to make sure that I'm going to be able to get away from here this morning without having to call her again because, you know, I don't want to push my luck. You know, like I said yesterday, I'm just glad I wasn't deep, deep, deep in the woods where she could at least, I mean, she had a hard enough time finding me here, but I mean, it was easy to get to. She didn't have to, do any rock crawling or, running through ravines or anything to get where I'm at now. So, but anyway, like I said, I'm going to do up uh, a breakfast burrito, and then I'm going to get all this cleaned up. I got some of it cleaned up already. I got all my stuff out of the rooftop tent, which is a lot. I have a lot of stuff that I haul up there. I never film it because, I just take it up there one piece at a time, and then, I can't be going up and down that ladder every 2 seconds. So, I have a power station up there. I have a bedroll up there that I always roll up and put back in the bag, because that mattress that it came with, it wasn't cutting the mustard after a while. So I bought a thicker mattress. But anyway, so I roll all that up and I have 2 or 3 bags up there with me. So it's an undertaking. It's probably, I don't know, 7:30 in the morning now, and I've been down here on the ground since 4. One piece at a time, getting it put away, getting it put away. So it's always a challenge, to do that kind of stuff. But like I said, today my high priority is getting my truck fixed, and then I'll plan my next camping trip. It's not going to be long, I know that. Uh, you know, like I said, all this time that I haven't been making videos, I've been camping. It's just not the same kind of camping. Uh, it would be more like glamping than camping. Matter of fact, that's what we named our motorhome, was Jed Glamp It, just because it's like having a house everywhere you go. So, but that's the kind of camping my wife likes to do. So, I don't mind doing it with her. I don't want to do it all the time. That's like, I still got to get out and do this, because this is what I really like. What I really, really like is, bushcrafting, being out, setting up tarp shelters, all that stuff. I just can't do it anymore. I couldn't put a pack on and hike, you know, a city block without having to stop because of my knee. But anyway, that's enough about me. Like I said, I'm going to cook that breakfast, pack all this up. So I probably won't be back on here. So I will see you guys next time in the woods.